Well, while you're checking on your Walmart order, I'm going to hit the music and we're going to go.
That sounds like a...
Step into the grand arena where the legends come to fight. Bodies clashing, dreams ignite under the neon lights. Oh yeah, Pondwater Dave is the voice calling every move. Amy, Vaughn, and the trivia getting you in the groove. Oh yeah. Feel the energy, the thunder as the crowd begins to roar. High flying daredevils in a battle like never before. Oh yeah, from the turnbuckle to the mat, the action never stops. Talking wrestling takes you to the top. Oh yeah, feel the energy, the thunder as the crowd begins to roar. High flying daredevils in a battle like never before. Oh yeah, from the turnbuckle to the mat, the action never stops. Talking wrestling takes you to the top. Oh yeah, talking wrestling, it's a war right from suplexes to body slams. We got it all inside, get ready for excitement, that's on the show. Talking wrestling is ready to throw down. Oh yeah.
Lord, I'm glad they can't hear me sing along with that theme song. Welcome in, everybody, for another edition of Talking Wrestling. I'm Pondwater Dave. With me, as always, and I couldn't do it without her, is the First Lady of the Arn Anderson Fan Club, Miss Amy Vaughn.
How's it going?
Doing great, Amy. How are you?
As I put my cough drop in. Been a little under the weather here, you know. When it's
Eating on the air.
I know, 15 degrees one day, 60 the next. Like, it just really messes
I
all
know.
your insides
I
up.
wore shorts to work yesterday, and I wore boot pants and 2 layers of shirts today. So
Really? Is it raining too down there?
it has been, but but the other day when it was raining, it got up to 60, so it wasn't that bad.
Ugh.
It's
I hate when
been
it's
it's been
raining
up
and
and down every
cold.
day.
Oh, yeah.
I did
I'm
some
ready
hunting.
for... You went hunting?
I went hunting this weekend, and the first day I froze, and the second time I was overdressed.
What'd you go hunting for?
Deer.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see anything?
Yeah, saw a mom and 2 babies.
Oh.
And then when I got down off the stand, I turned to look back, and then 2 more had come out.
Did you get a shot off, or are you just too far? No.
Nah.
Or is it gun season down there?
Huh? Yeah,
is it gun season? Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like our gun season's over here. Like,
We've
you could do it with a bow.
No, I couldn't. I can
No, but I'm saying.
I mean, we're telling the truth.
open.
The only deer I've ever killed was with a truck. and then I also killed one with a Mazda MX-6. It was a rental car. While my truck was being fixed. I totaled the rental car hitting one.
Of course. I mean, that is a Pondwater Dave story. Like, I would expect nothing less that you totaled your truck, then totaled the rental car that you were renting because you totaled your truck.
Yeah. Well, it didn't total the truck, but it did total the Mazda.
I bet. Oh my gosh.
The truck was repairable, but
yes.
But no, I've been in this house for 8 years, and I know I like to watch them out of the back door. And
yeah.
I have my son-in-law brought me my stand from the old place, and so I put a stand up, and I got a feeder, and we do have a non-gun season down here where they have it where you can use primitive weapons, or then you have bow season.
Mm-hmm. Bow season's longer here in Kentucky. I don't really know what Mississippi does, but
they do start out with youth.
Yeah.
Kids get to go first, and then I think it's bow season, and then I think you can use primitive weapons, which I guess is a single shot. And then I'm not the right guy to ask.
Primitive, I'm thinking axe, or I don't know what, slingshot.
I mean, I've only been down here for 14 years, so I'll even tell you, when I stopped at Walmart the other night to get some bullets for the rifle, I knew I needed 308s, and luckily the guy in front of me, that's what he was there for. And I just said, I'm going to get what he's getting.
What in the world? Terry says they have bare hands. Oh my God. Like for deer or for any animal? Why do you want to kill it for anything with your bare hands? I don't know about all that.
But I mean, if I get one, it's mostly just going to be sausage. I'm going to get some.
Oh,
I'll
it's
get
a joke.
it'll be summer sausage and I'll get some with pineapple and cheese and jalapeno and cheese. Then I'll have some summer sausage made.
Aaron went out with my dad. My dad goes, and he went out with Aaron, and Dad didn't see nothing. But then Dad has, 6 grandsons, so he has to kind of rotate that around. So my nephew Carson, he's the youngest, and he actually shot a deer. He got the deer. So, and like you said, they make it into sausage or whatever.
Yeah.
Have at it. It's not, I'm not a big deer meat. I can taste it. It's real gamey. I don't like that taste.
Hate it. I like deer meat sausage.
Yeah.
I like deer meat sausage. I've had backstrap. It's okay.
Well, and I think if it's in, like people will get it ground and then you make it into chili and you throw in beef. Maybe it's not as, I don't know. I've just never been a big, huge fan of it. So.
Yeah. It just.
Oh, I bet, Efren. Hey, man, I heard, I don't even know, it's probably fake, but Carnival is not allowing that decoration anymore. The upside down pineapple.
Carnival cruises?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So you're going to try a different line, Carnival line, or a cruise line, Efren. But I don't know, somebody was talking about that or Facebook or something.
I don't know. I'm more impressed with that you knew what the upside down pineapple was, or that you knew the cruise line that was popular on.
I read. No.
Oh, so Amy, are you watching Landman?
Oh my God. Oh, Dave.
I didn't need another show to watch, but they had a preview after the premiere of Yellowstone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or the second week of Yellowstone was back. Whatever they had a preview of Landman, and I watched it, and good God, what a ride.
I have always been impressed with Billy Bob Thornton and his way of getting to be really entrenched and becoming the character that he is portraying. And there is nothing about Billy Bob in this movie or this show that does not make me think he could really be a landman. Like he really.
He's a great actor, but acting wasn't his original gig. He took an acting job. He took acting jobs to help pay because he was chasing his dream as a musician.
What's he play?
Guitar. He's in a band.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, but I saw an interview with him, and he said he just took an acting job because it was a way to make some money.
Interesting.
Because he moved to Los Angeles trying to chase his music dream, and I believe he still performs, but he's a great actor.
He is, and
the women love him. The women love him. I don't get it. He's a hell of a salesman.
Yeah,
his resume is pretty impressive.
Yeah, that is very true. That's very true. But they don't stay for very long, so maybe the act. I don't know, obviously, but yes. So we watched it. We're kind of like you. Like we are Yellowstone fans. Sean watches Tulsa King quite a bit. And
let me stop you there and ask you, because there's been some controversy this week. Did you just see this week's episode of Yellowstone?
No, I have not.
Well, then I can't ask you.
We'll
sorry. Talk about it next week.
I'm sorry.
Taylor Sheridan's taking some backlash because they're saying he made the episode about him, but I thought it was damn entertaining.
Oh, well, I know he was in the episode, right? I'd heard that. Taylor Sheridan was.
He was heavily spotlighted in it.
Yeah. Who cares, right?
I thought he was. I thought he was a good character.
Did it go along? He's been in.
You'll like it. It's
as long as Rip's on the screen, I will like it.
You'll like this episode. But anyway, back to what you were saying about Taylor Sheridan and Landman.
Well, I was just saying that, Sean really enjoys Tulsa King and we like Yellowstone. And we're like, man, and again, I've always been fairly impressed with Billy Bob and like the acting he's been, he's done. John Hamm is really good in this too. We never did watch Mad Men, but we've kind of talked about watching John Hamm in this. Like maybe we need to go watch Mad Men and just kind of see like, if there's any comparison and what that might have looked like.
Do you feel like Demi Moore's been wasted so far? It hadn't been a lot about her.
I don't really know if she's been wasted. One thing that I do like, they do show that they are in love.
Yes.
Like I feel like in some episodes you see like she could be shopping, like they never interact, but like
we don't see a lot of her. And when we do, I mean, it's really positive, but I'm just saying that I don't know. It's just, I hadn't seen a lot of her yet,
Yeah. But I definitely think, like you said, I like what you said, that what we've seen of her has been positive. Like she's talking to him about make sure you take your blood pressure pill. Like she's concerned about his health. I mean, they go out to eat and they kiss each other, like they definitely act like
and
they like each other.
Their daughter goes to TCU.
And I also like how he got off the phone whenever it was her time to run, So, I mean, he is definitely, I mean, he's a billionaire. I mean, he's running a lot, but he's like, I got to go, like he is going to watch her. And it's not going to be like, oh, honey, I'm so sorry. I had to take that phone call, so,
he's got his priority. He seems to have priorities.
There's definitely good family structure there. Cause like I said, you don't always see that.
And then the other side of the coin where there's not good family structure.
What in the world am I watching?
That daughter makes me so uncomfortable. And I know it's because I have daughters.
Yeah. What about it? Just the fact that she
told her daddy, when she told her daddy what they were doing for birth control.
Yeah. Yes. Did you see the look on his face? Was that just not?
I had the same look, and it ain't my kid. She makes me so uncomfortable.
That is a true child in a sense. Like she's just, she's eating her smart popcorn and she's laying out and she just, I mean, she's oblivious,
Daddy,
I guess, in some ways.
Get me a French fry. 3 French fries. Pick out 3 and throw the rest of them away.
Could you imagine? Ask them to wrap it in lettuce. He's like, I don't think they might do it for you, but they ain't going to do it for me.
But you're right, to go to Whataburger and tell them to wrap my burger in lettuce.
But it's for my daughter and showed her picture.
But I love that he drinks Dr. Pepper and he knows where Whataburger is.
I love he is one of those characters that like he goes to the bartender, it's like, do you just do this for a hobby? Because you're sure
you damn sure ain't getting a tip.
You sure as hell don't try to get a tip. Michelob Light is non-alcoholic to an alcoholic. It's just, I mean,
he's so good.
He's like, serve me 6 Michelob Lights and serve me 6 whiskeys, and you tell me which.
I'll come back.
Yeah, you tell me which one is the alcoholic or whatever. And it's just, it's the way he says things, presents things, but then when things go bad, and if you've watched this show, there have been definitely times you can see the absolute crushiness. You can see that it affects him and how good he is in those situations. Like, the one where they had the blowout, like he went and he turned the valve off, like he's having to process so much at one time. And, there's been a couple cases where he has, had to deal with, I mean, just like that, a traumatic situation. And does anybody in the chat, do y'all watch Landman? I'm just curious.
Also, shout out to the chat. We got Efren here.
Efren.
T-Weed's with us. Willie Buck's with us.
Oh, Coach Keith.
Coach Keith Morrison. What's going on?
Is Coach Keith, are we going to see you in Huntsville in January? I'd like to know.
If you're watching, wondering where Jax N is, he's going to join us at 7:30 Central Time, 8:30 Eastern Time. So he is coming. We're just going to do this. We're running the show backwards today. We're instead of starting with the interview, we're gonna end with it. So
yeah, Coach
bear
King.
with us. We're gonna have some fun tonight. We're talking about
Landman,
and I love the lawyer.
I have not watched that. Oh, the girl.
The girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's quite interesting. That was pretty fun to watch. Was it the last episode where they were like, "This is not a negotiation. This is a surrender."
Yeah. She's vicious. I like her.
Yeah. She is interesting. She's a little, I mean, for me, she's a little, this is so inappropriate. This is so, like, I don't know. Like, I'm kind of like, okay, chill out, honey bunny. I like when she's like, he's the guy with the cowboy hat over there. This line of them.
I liked how he cock blocked that prostitute.
Oh my God, exactly. I mean, some of the things that he says. So my real first introduction to Billy Bob, for the most part, was Sling Blade. Have you seen that? I mean,
I'm familiar. My
family quotes that about mustard, like my dad will do that all the time. It just, it's like, ain't got no gas.
Taters.
Yes. And so that was my first introduction. He wrote that. He directed it. Like this was, like Sling Blade was his. I mean, I think he won an Academy for that. I mean, he won an Oscar maybe for that. I have to look that part up, but that was really my first. And again, you saw the character Sling Blade and what that looked like. And then just all the different characters and people that he can, I mean, like I said, he looks like a person that eats Hot Pockets and drinks Dr. Pepper and smokes Marlboros or whatever he is doing. And so, he has that look about him. He has kind of like that paunch, he has no butt. He's got his jeans on, his white shirt. And it just, I don't know. He can just really take over a role and really, make you part of it. But if this is going to be like Walking Dead, where I was like stressed out at the end of each episode because of what was happening, I don't know how much the Landman I can watch.
I mean, I'm trying to decide how much do I really like this because because now with his kids and the situation with the ex-wife, I mean, she's a nutcase.
Interesting. She's definitely interesting.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that, it's only the 5th episode, so I'm hoping that we might get a little bit of back and forth, until, and maybe because I just, it was subtle, but until she started talking, until Angela, his ex-wife, started talking about that Garth Brooks concert or George Strait concert. I didn't realize that he actually owned land. Like he was like a John Hamm. Did you get that?
I didn't catch that. I just thought that it was, when times are good, it's really good. When times are bad, it's not.
Yeah, but he was an actual owner.
Oh.
Is what it is kind of what I was getting. Is that and they lost it all.
Well, I just got that the bottom fell out and she bolted.
Well,
I don't expect her to stay. I don't expect her to stay with him long.
You don't think so? I definitely think she'll stay part of the show. Like she's way too much of a character. And then her daughter, they were drinking margaritas. I'm like, the girl's 17. But did you like that one part though? Oh, come on, sweetie. And what he did to her, the wife, the ex-wife, threw her in the pool.
Yeah.
You get that one. You're like, oh my God. Good morning, Ben. How are you?
Ben Jones with us from Australia.
I always want to give a shout out to the Australian because again, Ben and maybe his friends that he tells about us puts us in the top 10 of Australian wrestling content all the time. Oh, Mayor of Kingston. He wrote the Mayor of Kingston? Or are you just saying?
I think he does Linus too.
I did not know he wrote the Mayor of Kingston. Where does he come up with all this? Like, how can he write all this? Like,
well, I mean, come on, they're basically the same formula.
Well, but you still have to know intricate stuff about.
I saw a guy today pick Landman. I saw a guy today pick Landman apart and said he probably talked to somebody that worked in the oil field for about 30 minutes latched on to 2 or 3 terms because he said that as somebody that works in the oil field, he can't watch it. He can't. He said it's not even close. He can't watch it.
Really?
So, but you know what else? It's December.
Yep.
Everybody's playing Christmas music.
Lord, yes.
As long as I don't hear it before Thanksgiving, I'm cool. I actually like Christmas music.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that Sirius makes channel 58 country Christmas. I wish they'd mess with one of the other channels because that's my go-to country channel.
Oh, so it's in general a country channel, but they just make that. Okay, I got you.
It's my 80s, 90s country channel.
I got you.
And
I got you.
Then they make it Christmas, and then after Christmas they'll put it back like it's supposed to be. So
I
mean, they got all those channels. You think that they just create a channel,
right?
I mean, they do it for Jimmy Fallon. The Jimmy Fallon Christmas. He's got his own channel
or something. Really, Jimmy? Yeah. What is Jimmy Fallon's Christmas? What does that consist?
Just plays Christmas music.
Oh, that he likes or that he sings or what? Okay, that's interesting.
I haven't listened to it more than a minute because when I found it, it was before Thanksgiving.
I gotcha.
But we're gonna do a new segment that I want to call that we're gonna call Pondwater Ratings. Right off the bat, I want to explain. Well, let's do this first.
Pondwater Ratings! Dave and Amy doing their thing! Our jars are the best. If it's only one jar, just give it a rest.
Pondwater Rankings.
I love it.
And I want to reiterate for anybody that hadn't been with us before. The jars of Pondwater jars. If it's not a negative thing, if something gets 1 jar, it don't necessarily mean it's bad. It's not a quality ranking. Mm-hmm. If I give something 5 jars or Amy gives it 5 jars, that is saying that, and we're never going to do 6 in the Tokyo Dome and any of that bullshit. It's a 1 to 5. It's a 1 to 5. There ain't no 5 in a mouthful because a half will be a mouthful. Mm-hmm. There's no one. I mean, once 5 is it. We ain't making up more numbers but if I say something's a 5, I'm telling you that I can't recommend that to you any more than that.
Right.
So 4 would be a little less, and all the way down to 1, it's like, I didn't hate it, take it or leave it, when you got time, maybe. But so it's kind of like just a recommendation. It's not an indictment on the quality of something. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
So that's how we're going to do it. And this week we're going to do our favorite Christmas songs. And we're going to let
Do we get to play any, or we just going to have to hum them?
I Googled it and found out I wanted to get a clear definition of fair use. Mm-hmm. And I found more articles saying that any use is not, I mean, there is a fair use still, but even 1 second could be a violation and you could get flagged, and we don't need those kind of headaches. So
that's crazy.
It is what it is.
That is.
So we're going to start at 1 and work our way up. Amy.
Mm-hmm. All right. So my 1 jar is the 12 Days of Christmas. And I do like the Muppets, but to me, the 12 Days of Christmas is just a very repetitive song, and people just want to get to the 5 golden rings. And so it's just rushed. And honestly, I don't think people could tell you in the right order what 6 through 12 is. There's Lords of Leaping and there's Swans of Swimming, but do you know where 12. They all fall? See? Prove my point.
12.
So it is 1 jar. 12 calling birds? No.
12 calling birds. 11.
No. 4 calling birds. 3 French hens. 2 turtle doves.
12 on the 12th day of Christmas.
And also, I do want to say this. Going along with the traditional 12 days is also the other, quote, 12 days that they make up, which is like, on the first day of Christmas, my hubby gave to me, whatever, and they have these stupid lyrics that go with it. toys that need batteries or kids are whining or whatever. Like, I don't like any of that. It's a very long song. It's very repetitive and it's just not enjoyable. So that's 1 jar for me.
My favorite version of the 12 Days of Christmas is Alvin and the Chipmunks. I like that version with Alvin and the Chipmunks. But I mean, I'm with you. I'm not looking for that song every year,
and then again, it's very,
but there's variations of it that don't hit for me.
Right. Definitely. The variations get really crazy, and
it might be cute one time, but then my God.
Yeah. By the time you get to number 10 Lords of Leaping, 9, 8, so, you just keep going back through. And like I said, everybody rushes to get to 5 golden rings.
It's Christmas is 99 bottles of beer.
Yes. Oh, that's great. Yes. So.
All right. Well, let's go. And my 1 jar song is Alabama's Christmas in Dixie.
Wonder, what is that? I don't know. I bet if
Christmas
I listened to
Dixie.
it on my phone while we were on the show, is that going to?
I don't know if it would or not. I really don't care if you want to do it.
Well, I was just trying to think. I'm just trying to think of what this song. Tell me why it's only a one jar.
Because I enjoy it when I hear it, but if I'm making a Christmas mixtape, I don't know that I'd remember to include it.
I gotcha. Yeah, I don't even think I knew about it. So
you've heard it. I guarantee you've heard it.
Yeah. We have a station here in town, or on the radio, FM radio, that goes all Christmas music after Thanksgiving. And so I do, like you said, I like listening to that, and it has a variety. But after a while, there are certain songs I know we're going to talk about a little bit later, that you just keep popping up. And I can say this one has not been popping up. So it's not, one of your headliners.
Yeah.
Say.
All right. We're going to go back to yours and your 2 jar.
Yeah. This is an annoying song. Now, who the hell wants hippopotamus for Christmas? Like, what is the logic behind this song?
But you're recommending it. You're recommending it more than the 12 Days of Christmas
because of the the absolute absurdity of the length of the 12 Days of Christmas. Yes. Like, I still I would rather, this is I want a hippopotamus for Christmas, but it's this little girl, I guess. It's very high pitched. Like, it's just not to me.
Oh, I like the song. I like it.
It's okay.
Well, I think you misunderstood the assignment.
Well, it's 2 jars. I'm just saying.
Okay.
It's a fine song, but I'm okay to hear it, but I don't want to hear it more than once. Like, it's not.
You're not changing the channel.
I'm not changing the
channel.
We
shouldn't be changing the channel any of our top 5.
Oh. Well, this is not my top 5. This is a 2 jar. Means I don't hate it. I don't like it if it comes on, but I'm not picking it. How about that?
All right.
Well, Andrew wants a hippopotamus.
My number 2 is The Little Drummer Boy, the version with David Bowie and Bing Crosby. I remember seeing this when I was a little kid, and it hit real hard for me. I liked Bing Crosby. I used to watch I've seen Bing Crosby movies with Bob Hope, and I liked Bing Crosby, and this version of The Little Drummer Boy with Bing going, roll, pump, 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 and then David Bowie going, peace on earth. And I like it.
That's CGI'd, right? Like, they weren't really, I
believe it was a special on NBC.
Really?
Because it was like Bing answered his door, and he was at his house in London, and David Bowie came over to say hi, and they introduced each other. And it's a fun little, you can find it on YouTube, and it's a fun little interaction between them, and they get to the piano and then they perform it. So it's
okay.
But it's kind of like he's just visiting for the holidays. He'd heard that, and he came by to meet him.
I'm with you. I do like that song. It's a nice song. I really did think it was CGI'd in. Like,
No. They
even
performed
better.
that
I'm gonna check
on
that.
television probably. I mean, I was really little. I mean, this is late 60s, early 70s.
Okay. I'm gonna have to double check that.
Yeah. All right, Amy's for 3 jars, Amy.
I mean, you gotta love this song. This is the epitome of Christmas or um contemporary Christmas song. I mean, it's a great song. All I want for Christmas is you.
You know, everybody makes fun of her. Like, okay, it's Thanksgiving. We're thawing Mariah out. She's almost here. And
Oh yeah,
it's
that's
become a whole
hilarious.
thing to make fun of her. But this song gets you going. I mean, it pumps you up and it's a high energy. I mean, this is like YMCA, like Eye of the Tiger. This is I mean, you could drink 3 Red Bulls and listen to this and run through a wall.
Well, and 2, I'm sure she is more than happy for people to be talking about it because all that is cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching in her bank account when that song's played.
And if
But
she
it's a
gets,
great, like you
it's a
said.
Christmas anthem.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm
Andrew giving me a little. I do. I think it's a great contemporary Christmas song.
Andrew says, you really judge that little girl and her hippopotamus, but this hits. My goodness.
Yes, definitely hits for me.
Did you know the hippopotamuses are not, they're not slow and they are a killing machine?
Yes, they're mean. They can be.
Yeah.
I definitely would not want to, I mean,
and they get in the water and they swim fast too.
Yeah. I mean, if you're that big, I mean, you're a big dinner. You've got to have some things, up your sleeve to get away when you're in the Sahara or wherever that, wherever they might be. But yes, I definitely I enjoy this song.
Well, right. My 3 jar song is Christmas Cookies by George Strait.
George Strait. What a nice.
This song is fun because I love Christmas cookies.
Oh, fresh cut Christmas. I was trying to look at what it was said.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, it's George Strait.
Oh, yes, 100%.
And but it's just a fun song. He sure does love those Christmas cookies, baby. And he wishes he could eat Christmas cookies all year long. And I do too. I like Christmas cookies. It's basically a sugar cookie. And you keep all that other. I'm pretty basic. I do love Christmas cookies.
Give you some Christmas cookies and some George Strait, and you're happy,
man. So that's my 3 jar. 4 jars, Amy.
Oh my God!
Wham! Last Christmas
is a great. This is even almost close to one of those songs that you could sing at any time. It's just like. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day, you threw it away. This year, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just really goes on and on. I mean, it is a great. Wham is awesome, and I just think this is great. What?
Oh,
dad jokes have entered the chat.
Oh.
I think this is a great song. Like I said, it's just one of those things. Again, it's a contemporary Christmas song. I love traditional Christmas songs, as you'll see what my number 5 is, or my 5 jar pick is. But there's something about a contemporary Christmas song to make you sing. I can maybe understand a little bit more.
You really can sing it all year if you know the lyrics.
Exactly. Well, yes. Well, thank you, Andrew. But
Ben Jones says wham, as in a hit song with a steel chair. I think it's a great pick, Amy.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, it's harder, I think, to understand the excitement of like sleigh ride, a sleigh ride and chestnuts roasting on an open, I mean, I just really I like this song. So that is it. And when I see you next time, Andrew, I'm going to serenade you with this whole entire song. Since you said I can sing it all year if I know the lyrics. I'm going to learn them.
I was torn, but I mean, I could have done 5 and 5A.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a reason for my 5. So my 4 is "Oh Holy Night" by John Barry. Everybody else's versions don't hit the same for me.
Okay.
But John Barry, this man has a magnificent voice. And the way that he performs "Oh Holy Night," and it just, and it just kind of keeps building and building and building and building. And I mean, I'm getting goosebumps telling you about it.
I'm definitely going to
listen. If you don't go listen to any other song that I recommended tonight, this is the one right here. This is this is a traditional "Oh Holy Night," and it is a great song, and he performs it. I mean, I can only probably tell you one other song John Barry ever sang on the country station. But this right here gets played. This will be on my Christmas mix. This is, I get so disappointed when this song comes on the radio and it's not John Barry's version.
I'm definitely going to listen to it. I think this is really interesting.
Because your 5 jars.
Because of what my 5 jars is. Oh, yes. Unbelievable voice. Number 1, "Oh Holy Night" is an absolute fabulous song. And like you said, you want to get goosebumps. This is the type of song you want to listen to. And what what the words are saying. I don't necessarily, I like Carrie Underwood singing it because she sings it like it's supposed to be. She's not trying to add all kind of,
She does that with most of her gospel music, though. Because every Sunday,
I like
every Sunday, her Carrie Underwood channel goes Spiritual Sunday, Savior Sunday on the Carrie Underwood channel.
And I like that because it's about the song and what it's the meaning of the song, and not how high she can hit. And I'm just doing all these different, notes and stuff. But I really like her version. I'm definitely going to listen to John Barry.
And I'll check out the Carrie Underwood version because I can imagine that she does a great job on it. And I'm sure I've probably heard it before.
You probably have. And I mean, and not saying that there's like a lot of, "Oh Holy Night."
I may sway you on this one.
Yeah.
I may sway you on this one.
Oh yeah. I mean, I can definitely be.
And the only reason I ever heard him sing it is because once upon a time, CMT actually played country music videos.
Yes.
And I saw the video of it.
Okay.
And that got my attention.
Well, no, I'm definitely going to give it a listen. But yes, that I really like her version. Okay. She's got an incredible voice anyway, and so leaning it to something like this is just, like I said, it really does give you goosebumps.
Willie Buck says his favorite Christmas songs is when Blake Shelton's singing them.
Oh, okay.
My 5 jars is "Santa Claus is Coming to Town" by Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. No other version will do for me. No other version, and it's not Christmas until I hear it. I played this song when Stephanie wanted to put up the Christmas tree. We had the grandbaby here, one of the grandbabies. Aubrey spent Sunday with us. And when I saw that we were going to start putting up the Christmas tree, I played it. And because that's what Christmas season does not, it don't start for me until I hear this song. This is my favorite Christmas song. And the way that Bruce does it, and Clarence Clemens is blowing that saxophone, and it's just a fun Christmas song. And that's my 5 jars. I cannot possibly recommend it enough.
Yes, that's a good song too. I think we got a really good little collection there.
Yeah. But it wouldn't be us. It wouldn't be us if we didn't flip over the other side of the coin.
Please, Lord, no, I would give 10 years off the end of my life to never see him do that again.
Yep. There's things that we'd give 10 years off the end of our life to ever have to Hear, See, or Do Again. And Christmas songs are no different. So, Amy, why don't you tell us about the Christmas song that you'd give 10 years off the end of your life if you never had to hear it again?
Excuse me. This is one of those songs that I think is overplayed. And so it's like, it's a very high-pitched song. We're rocking around the Christmas tree and we're deck the halls with, so it's just, it's a fine song, but it's 100% overplayed. And
that's fair. Because when I saw that this was your one that you would end it all over, I didn't know what to think. I was like, man, because the hippopotamus song I would thought that might have been one, but Brenda Lee's been singing this. I mean, I think she finally charted with it a couple years ago. I mean, there's some
really.
So
with the hippopotamus song, I don't feel like I hear that as much, and there may not even be that many lyrics.
But you're right,
this one constantly.
Because I spent an hour and a half in Corner Market working that store the other day, and I heard this song twice. I do know I heard it twice.
Exactly, and it's very 50s, like the whole, like in the beginning, the people are singing, like I said.
Allison says hers is the donkey song. No Moss, Stupid Dominic.
Excuse me, I started coughing.
Well, for me,
song, huh? Yeah. Go ahead. Yes, what is yours?
For me, it's Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer.
Yeah.
I'd gladly give 10 years off the end of my life if I never had to hear that song again.
That's a good one too. Elmo and Patsy, who are those people? Like,
they're one-hit wonders.
Okay. I got you.
So this song, I know I used to like it, and now it's like, Jesus, I don't want to hear it again.
Right.
And I struggled with this one because I could have just as easily said the Jeff Foxworthy 12 Redneck Gifts of Christmas.
See, that's what I don't like any of those. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there it does. And you kind of hate that because, like you said, it's not that you don't enjoy certain songs, but when they get played constantly and they're just like you said, you go into the mall, you turn on your radio, you turn, that same song, it just kind of is like, and if you are like, if you started at Thanksgiving, you're getting a good 30 days, if a little less, but you're getting, 24 hours, 30 days of just the same 18 songs or whatever. Or I love it when they find, who was it?
Wait a minute, Allison Faye saying her runner-up is the Little Drummer Boy. Is this the Little Drummer Boy that you would give 10 years off the end of your life to never hear again?
And is it a certain version of it?
Yeah.
Because
she came late. She
wasn't here to see that was one of your favorites.
Check out David Bowie and Bing Crosby's version.
Any version.
Well, I'm telling you, David Bowie and Bing Crosby might change your mind, but they mix Peace on Earth with it, so yeah, it's really a little different. But that was fun. Next week we're going to do Christmas movies.
You know what though? I always think it's funny because
Ben Jones, the Little Drummer Boy, sounds like a Kurt Angle gimmick in 2001.
Yeah, he could have done it. But I always love how, like, everybody puts out a Christmas album, and I'm not knocking any of them. They have their own little songs, but I saw someone, it was a meme on Facebook, but they're talking about the Cheetah Girls had a Cheetah-licious Christmas or something. And you just think about all the, all the people that put out some kind of Christmas album and how much and the songs that they write or whatever. And they'll throw in a couple of the, traditional ones. We didn't have really, besides Oh Holy Night, there was no really traditional. What do you like better? Like traditional Christmas songs, or like, are you liking Yeah. Oh, I can only imagine. Kelly Clarkson's Christmas album would be phenomenal, definitely.
No, because like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, I could take it with Burl Ives singing it. Well, it's not Burl Ives. Burl Ives, Gene Autry sang it. I'm sorry. Burl Ives did Frosty the Snowman. But I mean, I could take the old one, but I've heard Willie Nelson sing it. I've heard George Strait sing it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like modern versions of the old ones, but I'm not opposed to hearing the originals.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bing Crosby singing White Christmas and Elvis singing Blue Christmas, or
yes, that's a good one too.
You know, Stephanie, when we were talking about the one that we were texting the other night, and I mentioned the one that we were going to do, the one we never wanted to hear again. She said Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo. And I was man, I'd already done my top 5. I'm not sure I don't want that in my top 5. I love that song. And Eric Cartman singing Oh Holy Night is
I mean, we could go into all kinds of different little genres of,
It was hard to narrow it down to 5. Now 5 and 4 were easy for me.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've been saying it for years. Until I hear the boss sing that song, Christmas does not kick off for me.
Right. And I mean, it was kind of hard to say, okay, what song do I really despise enough that I would give 10 years of my life up for? That was another one that was kind of hard. Like you said, I may not like it, but like, am I really willing to give up my, 10 years of my life? But again, I would be okay not to hear.
I cut it back to 10 for you, because I normally say that I normally say it with 20.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, really. 20 years. Goodness gracious. I may not give us much time on this earth. No, we're getting up there, Pondwater.
Yeah.
Oh, let me ask you a question, if you don't mind.
Go right ahead.
Oh yes, Josh Groban. He's also one of my favorites that sings. In general, any kind of song. Do Not Let Hallelujah. Like, there's some songs out there that Josh Groban is masterful. And also Michael Bublé. Like, oh my God. And let him sing a Christmas song to me. But anyway.
Frank Sinatra.
Yeah. But I would prefer Michael Bublé. But anyway. What I was going to ask you is that because we have all our TNA top 10 people in the group chat, and they did Christmas movies. They did rated their top 10 Christmas movies. And I wanted to ask you, Mr. Pondwater Dave, do you consider Die Hard a Christmas movie?
I not only consider it a Christmas movie, I put it as number 1.
You put it as number 1. Okay. I also consider it a Christmas movie. I did not put it number 1 because I definitely think Christmas Vacation is, I mean, that's just one of those movies, and Home Alone. Those are two that is just like, you kind of have to watch. Christmas Vacation, we literally watch that every year. I mean, it's just, yeah, really. But I just wanted to ask, because that is kind of you see a lot of people that's a little bit of a controversy asking you if
it's no controversy.
If Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
I wish they would have made it a New Year's Eve party though, because could you imagine having Hans Gruber drop at midnight every year, like instead of a ball drop?
They just weren't.
But it works for me, man.
They weren't. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I think that, but then, I think there are movies that you tend to forget are Christmas movies. Like Gremlins is a Christmas movie, technically.
Yeah,
I mean, it is.
It was a present.
He got him as a present, and it is Christmas, and they ripped down the Christmas tree. And, so sometimes I think, you don't think about some of that. And I will say this too, and I hate to say this, but I listened to it today. Elf was not in my top 10. It is not a movie that I enjoy at all. I'm not a fan of that. And I know that Allison
I've never been able to sit all the way through it.
Yeah.
I've
I
never
know
made
that
it all
they
the way
were,
through it.
wanting it to be higher, and that's probably why, because I didn't vote for it. So, it's hard. I like Will Ferrell, but there only a certain place, only a certain amount of Will Ferrell can I take. See?
JD Hood
Edward
makes a good point.
Scissorhands.
Edward Scissorhands take place, but we're gonna
I
rate. We're gonna
mean,
do our jar ratings next week on movies.
yeah. I just think that's you know, like I said, I think that's kind of an interesting, you see that thought process of is it a Christmas movie or not. And actually there's probably more out there than Are you there?
Uh,
Did I
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Did I
you're
blink
freezing
out?
up. Yeah, you're freezing up a little bit.
Uh-oh.
You're doing your Max Headroom
Hello?
impersonation. I can hear you.
Can you hear me
Hello?
now?
I
Okay. I
got you.
don't know what yes. Okay, I'm not for sure what happened. Sorry
And I
about
did,
that.
but I did vote for some of the classics. Miracle on 34th Street. Miracle on 34th Street. I got It's a Wonderful Life on there. So I didn't just go with Lethal Weapon and Batman Returns and Die Hard. And I did put some actual traditional Christmas movies
I think
on
it's
there.
hard not to. Yeah, I think it's hard. And maybe again, that's an age thing for us. Like you said, It's a Wonderful Life. Like, oh my God, every time a bell rings, an angel's getting like, I think there's certain movies that maybe we were more in tune with because that, it was around more. But the 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 Christmas Story, they used to run that 24
What
hours a
about
day
Santa
on
with
Christmas
muscles,
Day.
brother?
You
Have a no holds
it might
barred
be
Christmas.
that might, yeah. Well, you know what?
I voted for Scrooge.
Scrooge is a very good movie too. I didn't vote
That's my
for
favorite
Scrooge,
version.
but I voted. Oh, is it? I voted for A
That's my
Christmas
favorite
Carol
version
because
of that
again, I
story.
think that's a good movie.
That is my favorite version of that story.
That is a good one. That's a very. You're right though. That is a
And I
very
love
good.
and I love Annie Lennox
Scrooge
singing.
is very good.
I love Annie Lennox singing the song.
I don't remember what she sings in it.
Will be a better place for you.
Oh yeah,
Put a
yeah,
little love in your heart.
yeah. Did she sing that? See, I don't remember that part.
Yeah,
but
Annie Lennox sang it in that movie for that movie. The Kentucky internet's
I'm
acting
sorry.
up,
Is that
Amy.
my internet? I know. I don't know why. I'm telling you, we have Premiere. I don't know. Well, everybody's home. So Aaron's probably on his PlayStation. Olivia has her TV going. Sean has a TV in the bedroom. You know what I mean? So like all of a sudden, all the internet it used to was going all to me, and now it's going everywhere. So
Well, since the chat has brought up
anywho,
Hulk Hogan,
you all that do not know, like I said,
she is gone. Well, this would be a great opportunity for me to tell you about Big Time Belts. Big Time Belts, Facebook.com. Join that group. Muhammad Zubair is making incredible belts over at Big Time Belts. High quality and low prices. The SWA Tag Team Wrestling Chans, they got theirs from Big Time Belts. The Flying V Fighting Champion, that masterpiece was crafted by Big Time Belts. Sam Houston came to see Big Time Belts when he got a replica of his Central States belt, but then he also got this to celebrate his tag team. Tim Robinson came to get it with got all of his ANW belts. He's got them all, and he's still going with collecting belts. He's got the belt bug bad. And Big Time Belts is making them all come true for him. The Lucha Libre Hood Mart belt, that Big Time Belts made that one. The Arkansas Open Weight Champion is strutting ass with a Big Time belt. September 7th, they just celebrated their third month anniversary. More power to them. Wedding belts are a thing, and I should get Stephanie one for our anniversary. That's tomorrow. We'll be married 13 years. I've never been married 13
mean,
years before. That makes her the champ.
And I guarantee that is number one on her list of what she wants for her anniversary.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to look at the traditional. I'll look at the traditional gifts, and if it's ever zinc or leather, I'll hook her up.
Oh, you know what? Leather's on there. I don't know where it is, but leather is on there.
But when you communicate with Big Time Belts what you want, you can give him an idea of what you want, and he'll show you a picture like this. This is your art. And then he does his thing. And after he does his thing, he sends you this. And from just telling him what you want, it becomes artwork, and it becomes a championship that you can be proud of. The winner of our fantasy football league is going to be styling and profiling with this masterpiece created by Big Time Belts. The Ram Network Fantasy Football appreciates Big Time Belts taking care of us on that. They can do that for you too. Big Time Belts, Facebook.com, high quality, low prices, and we want to thank them for sponsoring our show.
Sorry.
Andrew Herman says, buy a wrestling fan that wears deodorant, brushes their teeth, and washes their ass a belt for Big Time Belts. Good hygiene champion.
Heck yeah.
Good hygiene champion.
He even suggested that on his own show. So
they could have a tournament for it
over on TNI. How about we just, yeah.
Well, I was closing our show that way for a while. We want to
encourage everyone to do that, right?
It's a real thing. People that don't smell good is on the Mount Rushmore of the worst things in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. But let's talk about something else.
Yeah. We don't want to bag on smelly people anymore.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Saturday night's main event. Making a comeback. This Saturday.
Oh my gosh. This is, I'm
telling you.
Love it.
This has got they're hitting us in the feels with the nostalgia for this one. They're bringing back Jesse the Body Ventura.
Yes. If they open with a superstar doing a monologue, I'm going to have a stroke. I'm just going to fall.
Oh, you know they're going to do all that silly shit.
I will not be able to handle. And if, and do the whole, do everything. Like,
do you think
it can't be Hulk Hogan, but if they want to have Cody Rhodes doing some little and the music starts and it's just, oh man, I don't even know what I'm going to do.
Do you think that we're going to get Hulk Hogan and Jesse Ventura on screen together, possibly shaking hands?
No. Nah.
Like Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels?
No, I don't. Do you? There's no call for it. Do you? Just because Jesse's, what I think is going to be interesting is
both there. Jesse? And everybody knows that,
who do you think Jesse's interest is stand-ups? Oh, I love it. Who do you are you there? Can you hear me?
I'm here. Yeah, you just unfroze. What were you saying?
Who do you think Jesse's going to do commentary with? He doesn't have Gorilla and he don't have Vince. You know what I'm saying? Like, who do you think he's going to do color commentary with him?
Michael Cole.
You think it'll be Michael Cole? That makes the most sense.
I can't.
Someone that has to be really seasoned.
Yeah, it would have to be Michael Cole. I can't. There's nobody left.
Yeah, I know. That's what's really kind of.
I can't imagine that it's not Michael Cole. I don't know. We'll see.
I hope they don't. I want this Saturday night main event to just be like, I don't want no bridges. I don't want anybody making up. I don't want any of that. I just want to see, the monologue, the the matches, the big blue cage. Like, I just want to see that Saturday night's main event. I want to hear the music. I just
yeah,
want all of that. I don't.
that old music. They've already been playing it.
Yes, I do not want to hear. I do not want them making up. I don't want to hear nothing. I just want Jesse to do commentary. If Hulk Hogan wants to do his little posing, that'd be fine. But I just don't. This is not the time. This is the Saturday night main event feels. I don't really care if Jesse and Hulk Hogan get along. So that's just
well. Me. We're gonna have Gunther in a 3-way here with Damian Priest and Finn Balor. I think Gunther retains.
Oh yeah, Finn and Damian will. They screw each other out. I mean, is it? Is Judgment Day? They're not allowed. Are they not allowed at ringside? Is that was that this match or I can't? I want to say it is. I feel like Adam Pearce made that, but then I think maybe it was for the match Monday night. I don't know. So
yeah, but anyway, I think it's gonna. I think it should be a good match. Gunther's gonna retain.
Yes,
he's probably gonna. Finn's probably gonna pin Damian Priest, and Gunther will probably shit can him and make the cover. If I had to guess, because I think we're gonna get more. Yeah. I think we're going to get more Finn and Damian.
And, that's probably okay for them.
Liv Morgan and Io Sky. This ought to just be a really good match. I think it'll be a good match.
Io Sky, yeah.
Io
Sky does not win, though.
No, and does Tiffany Stratton cash in on NBC?
I don't know. Not against Liv. I just think she's got too much going on. You know what I'm saying? I think the real story is between Tiffany and Nia Jax.
Yeah.
Don't you?
I do, but I could also see her cash in on Liv. And then her and Nia walking around with both belts.
Oh, well, that's true. That could definitely be good. But then where do you go with Liv? I don't know. Yeah, that's true.
I don't know that Liv needs it.
I've heard they're going to have more.
No, it's going to be Liv and Mommy. Liv's not dropping the title to Tiffany because Mommy's coming.
Mommy's coming.
Yeah, I could see that maybe Tiffany cashes in on Rhea if Rhea wins the belt. Maybe she has like a 2-minute title reign before she loses it to Tiffany.
Right.
We'll see. But no, it's going to be a good match though. I think both of these. Io Sky normally puts on really good matches, and Liv's really much improved, and she belongs where she's at, and I think this is going to be a good match. And then Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. And earlier today, Triple H gave Cody something. Cody said he gave Cody a briefcase, one of those cases that they carry the belts in. And he told Cody, one night only. And Cody opens it up, and it's like a Pulp Fiction that the light hits him in the face. Closes it. So I think the Winged Eagle belt. The Winged Eagle belt's going to be back for one night only.
Ooh, yes, on this Saturday night's main event. That's pretty cool.
But Kevin Owens won't be taking it from Cody.
No. Do you think he wins him? He beats him clean? Do you think something happens? Like Kevin Owens is trying to cheat, and someone comes out and stops him. You think Randy Orton comes out? I
think Randy Orton may insert himself into this, and I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a clean finish.
So when is Elimination Chamber? When is that?
After the Royal Rumble, between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania.
So they don't have anything in December. It just this Saturday night's main event?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, but they got another Saturday night main event in January.
Yeah, but I'm just saying there's no pay-per-view. couldn't remember where Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, I think after this, the next one we have is Royal Rumble.
Okay. Well, that kind of makes sense. I mean, it's not that far away, right?
Well, we got another Saturday night's main event before Royal Rumble.
Yes. I think they're going to have a total
And I
of
think
4, aren't
we
they?
got New Year's Evil, but that's NXT.
Oh, okay. But aren't they going to have a total of 4 Saturday night main events? I don't that are kind of already scheduled, and maybe that will be.
I think that you're correct on that, Ben. I believe it was on Saturday night main event.
Look at Ben pulling out the 30-year history there.
My least favorite
Really?
WWE belt is the Winged Eagle.
What? Really? There've been some. Why? Why don't you like that one?
Because I thought it was too small for Hogan.
Oh. So it wasn't necessarily design, it was just the size
It was too small to be a world belt.
I got
When I looked at what Hogan had, because I liked what he had. I liked the belt that he had before the Winged Eagle. I liked the belt that he had before that. I liked all the belts that he had up until the Winged Eagle. I think the Winged Eagle was too small for him. If it would have debuted on Randy Savage or Bret Hart or Ric Flair, I probably would have liked it more. But it was I thought it was too small for Hogan because I compared it to the Big Gold. I compared it to the AWA Championship.
Well, yeah,
So,
compared to those two, you know.
So it just didn't hit for me.
I got you.
And I was an NWA guy anyway.
Yeah.
But I think it's cool. I think it's cool if that's the belt. Because Cody could very easily come out with that belt that Dusty, they'd had the Dusty finish in Madison Square Garden with.
Right.
Because I know Cody has that belt.
Well, you know what? That's what's going to be really fun is that 88, February 5th, 1988. What's really going to be fun is watching it and just kind of seeing how they actually, like you said, how true to the actual, 80s Saturday night's main event is this going to be. I'm very oh my gosh, don't even. The twin referee finish. That was my poor little, I don't know, 10-year-old mind.
They could do that, though. They could do that. They could find a set of twins that wrestle and bring them in as referees.
Well, definitely. I mean, they definitely could.
I'm looking forward to watching it. I'm going to watch it with my wrestling friends. We're going to have a watch party over at Ad Free Shows.
Oh, fun.
Working on special guests.
That'll be fun.
So it'll be a fun night.
Ooh.
Nothing better than watching
special
wrestling
guests that might have been around during that time.
Maybe. So
sorry.
I'm really missing our producer.
It's time for Amy's Trivia. Can you hang? How big's your brain? It's time to play.
Amy, what's our topic for trivia tonight?
Well, I was inspired 2 different ways, and I'll tell you what. I looked. Our topic tonight is Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle's birthday was this week. It was on the 9th. He was born on December 9th.
Well,
and the second reason, since you kind of plugged your watch along on ad-free shows, I'm going to plug my show on ad-free shows, which is called Ladies Night at the Matches. I co-host that with the wonderful Megan Nelson. We are going to be having Karen Jarrett on with us this month in December, and really looking forward to talking to her and just about, what brought her. I mean, obviously, I want to know how her and Kurt met. I think we all know, obviously, her life in TNA and now that she's married to Jeff Jarrett. But I mean, I'm really kind of interesting is like, how exactly did her and Kurt meet? And what did she think about wrestling? That's obviously what's not her. She didn't start out trying to be a wrestler. And so I think it's going to be really fun. I think we're going to get a lot of good information, and it's going to be a really fun chat. So we will be
Y'all
doing
did a
that.
great job on that.
Thank you. Thank
Because
you.
you and Megan y'all ask questions that they don't get asked all the time. And it's just you two, y'all aren't fangirling out. Y'all are just having a conversation, and it can be just like a normal conversation, but it's entertaining.
Yeah.
Because
we're
when
so lucky.
that, like, if you interview Medusa, most guys, if they interview Medusa, they're going to talk about Medusa Michelli and AWA, but then they're going to go right to throwing the belt in the trash. And she's going to get that. But y'all would probably talk to her about a million other things and may not even get to the part about her throwing the belt in the trash, because there's no telling.
Yeah.
We learned something different. Y'all just approach it different than what they're not getting the same interview questions that they always get. And I like that.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. And and that's exactly what you haven't
Andrew
watched our
said
show.
you haven't watched our show.
What does he mean?
I guess they ask Medusa the same. Oh no, he talks to Medusa about a lot of stuff.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I was
I
like,
wasn't talking about on her show. I was talking about when she's a guest on shows. I was using her as an
yes.
example.
Oh, yes.
Like Missy Hyatt. Y'all had such a great conversation with her, but y'all didn't go to her book. Y'all didn't ask about, y'all didn't ask all the inappropriate stuff that she's not ashamed to talk about.
No.
I mean, she owns everything she ever did, but it's just refreshing.
Definitely.
Y'all give a great perspective. I'm taking a long time to say that.
No, we really do appreciate that. And so we will move on. So to question number 1. Sorry. Kurt Angle was born on December 9th of what year? Was it 68, 69, 70, or 71?
Well, he was in the 96 Olympics. That'd make him at the oldest 25 when he won the gold medal. I'm going to say that he was 26 and he was born in 1970. Ben Jones is saying that he was born in 68.
Let's see if anybody else has a pick. Oh, Terry
Weaver's thinking it's 68.
I think they looked it up. What do you think? Because it is. If you look at the answer, it is 1968.
Really?
He was born December 9th, 1968.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought he was closer to my brother's age. He's closer to me.
Yeah, he had already graduated from college when he won, 2 years in, and so he was a little bit older when he went for the Olympic gold. I think he had already graduated and had done the world, whatever they do.
He was 28 years old.
So yeah,
96.
So he was a little bit older. Yeah, 96. All righty. So Angle was a 2-time NCAA Division I wrestling champion in the heavyweight division while he was a student at Claremont University of Pennsylvania. And he did graduate. What degree did Kurt receive at graduation? It was a business degree, communication degree, education degree, or a biology degree. I think sometimes we forget about that. He is a college graduate and he has a degree.
I'm going to go with communications because I think he went into working for the local news in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say he had a communications degree. Terry Weaver agrees with me.
Terry Weaver's agreeing. We'll see. We'll give everybody just a few seconds to see if they have.
Give Willie Buck a second to answer.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Willie's playing along. Ben, you got a guess out there?
All right. What do we got?
He is an education major.
Well, I'll be darned.
He's got a degree in education. I know. I would have thought communication, business could have definitely been,
I thought it was communication, but.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Physical education?
It didn't specify, but if I had to guess, I would be leaning more towards, I bet it's,
yeah,
give him that ability to do some kind of physical education. What year was Kurt Angle ranked number 1 on the PWTA top 500 list?
Oh, goodness.
Was it 2000, 2001, 2002, or 2003?
I want to say 2000, but 2001 just feels right. Because I know he won the championship. Like, maybe it was
Terry's going late. He's going 2003.
Really? I'm going to say 2001.
You are correct, sir. It was 2001. Number one. Isn't that crazy? Number one on the PWI top 500 list. And you could, I mean, in 2001, think of who that list was.
Well, he won the championship.
He
just started wrestling and won the championship.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm just think about all the people that would have been kind of floating around in 2001. And he was
I wonder if he got Rookie of the Year in PWI.
I don't think so. Because I did not, you know what I'm saying? I don't remember seeing that as an option. I mean, he could have. I'm not 100%. But I like these PWI rankings.
Terry quit watching in 99.
Boo. All right, next question. Okay. So Kurt Angle, he is the first person to hold both the WWE and TNA Triple Crown recognition. So in TNA, he became a Triple Crown winner faster than anyone else in TNA history. How many days did it take for Kurt Angle to complete the Triple Crown? Was it 72 days, 92 days, 102 days, or 122 days? Triple Crown are three top or major, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be your major title, your secondary title, and tag team title. Makes you a Triple Crown winner. He did it faster. He's done it both in WWE and TNA, and he did it faster than anybody else.
Terry Weaver thinks it was 72. I'm going to think it was 122.
You're both wrong. It was 92. Now, I will say this. I was not much of a TNA watcher at this time. But actually what happened, he ended up winning I guess it's the X Division title, which would have been kind of their secondary title.
Yeah.
And the tag team title in the same night. So that is how he was able to complete that so fast. Because he won 2 titles in the same night. He won the first title that he won was the TNA heavyweight title. And then literally
Dixie just said, screw it, put them all on him.
I guess I'm not really for sure how all that worked. And if I'm not mistaken, he won the tag team. He won the tag team champion titles without a partner. So I don't really know how all that was working in 2000 and I don't remember what year that was.
I got a bonus question that's got nothing to do. Well, it could have something to do with Kurt Angle.
Okay.
The only playable character in a WWE, TNA, and AEW video game.
Say that again.
The only playable character in a WCW, WWE, TNA, and AEW video game.
Is it Jeff Jarrett?
No.
It's not?
No, it's Sting.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Sting was, Kurt Angle was the second person to go into the TNA Hall of Fame and WWE Hall of Fame. The first person was Sting. So that's another little tidbit of trivia, but that's good. I like that. Okay, this is a fill in the blank. So Angle has won over 21 professional wrestling championships and is an overall 13-time world champion. He is the only wrestler to have won the major titles of the WWE Championship, the World Heavyweight Championship, the WCW Championship. He won the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. He won his NCAA Wrestling Championship and one other wrestling promotion's heavyweight title. What is that promotion?
IWGP.
Very, very good. It is the IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
I
That's
thought he
kind of
was an
crazy.
NWA champ. I thought he was an NWA champion too.
He is not an NWA champion.
But I do know that here's the thing is I don't believe his name's on the IWGP belt because it's something him and Brock did.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Okay. What would they have done?
Brock dropped it to him. He dropped
and
it
they
back to
just
Brock.
Oh, well, that's kind of weird. That's just so you could say that you won all these
Yeah, I
major
mean,
titles.
it's kind of weird because I don't believe Kurt Angle's name's on the belt.
Interesting. Well, I don't know that part.
But it was the
But I mean-
version. It was the version 3.
You know, if you really, I mean,
That's belt pope knowledge right there for you people.
I like it when you drop a little belt pope knowledge. Do you think Kurt Angle gets the recognition he deserves from wrestling fans of this age? Like, do you really think they understand how good he really was? Like, all the things he accomplished? Like, I don't know. I could be completely wrong. But do you think his drug problem and drug addiction and the overcome? I mean, he overcome addiction.
I think the majority of his career being in TNA.
Mm-hmm. And that's another thing
TNA.
too. Yeah. That is very true. He spent way more time
I think
in
if you were
WWE, which is I mean,
I think he gets a lot of credit. I do.
You do?
But I don't think like I don't think he'd get a pop on AEW.
Yeah.
I think the average AEW fan probably doesn't appreciate his body of work.
Yeah. Yeah. And kind of like what Ben, I mean, that is very true. There's never been a time in wrestling when like that 2001, not 99 to 2001 when you had The Rock and Undertaker, you had all these different people. Yeah, that's
But if you ask me my top 5 matches, Kurt Angle and Shane McMahon's going to be in there. King of the Ring. I mean, that's my favorite Kurt Angle match.
Yeah, he had to really. I mean, that glass not breaking, that was brutal to watch. But I'm just sitting here looking at all this stuff, and I mean, he was just, besides Brock Lesnar, and he hasn't had all these accomplishments. Now, granted, there hasn't probably been all this around at TNA. Brock's never been to TNA, has he?
No.
And he didn't have the depth. But I mean, it's just we don't have that kind of level of Brock. Okay, let me ask you another quick question. This is because we can't stay on topic, right? There's a picture going around. Have you seen this picture of Brock and supposedly Sable?
Yeah.
And they're and people are like, that's not Sable. And people are like, that look, I mean, she just has dark hair. Like, I don't think it's that, strange, but I just thought that was interesting that, Sable's in the news, when I was thinking about Brock Lesnar.
Well, I couldn't have picked her out of a lineup.
No, I don't think I would have necessarily recognized her either.
But
Plus, she's covered up. I mean, that's another thing too. Not in a bad way, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? She has long sleeves.
She don't dye her hair anymore, and I mean, but it's been almost 25 years.
Oh yeah, definitely. I just thought it was interesting how much people were just like, that's not her. I mean, it was just shocking, I guess, or people were, I mean, I don't know why I'm people get
I didn't
shocked.
think it was her either until I saw who had posted the picture, and he had said that's who everybody and called her by her name. So
yeah. I don't necessarily know if I would have just been flipping through. I mean, I would have recognized Brock Lesnar, but I don't know if I would have recognized that was her. But I just thought it was interesting how some people on the internet were just like, up in arms, I guess. Last question. That was a sidebar. Sorry. Yeah, it's blood. No, that's true. Angle is a member of both TNA's Hall of Fame and the WWE Hall of Fame. He went into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2017. What year did he go into the TNA Hall of Fame? And it's fill in the blank.
2010? 2012. 2012 is my answer.
If you one more year, it was 2013.
Wow, I didn't realize that. I didn't think she's older than me.
Yeah.
She looks good for an old rod.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, she's definitely. I mean, she's.
Nobody else is guessing. Gelson.
Oh, I know. I got him talking about Sable. So let's turn back. But he went in 2013. I thought that was always.
I got close.
Yes. I just think it's interesting. Now, granted, but he went into the TNA Hall of Fame before he went into the WWE Hall of Fame. But like I said, she's 57. I mean, she's close to 60. Still older than Dave.
No, she's not. I'm 58. I'm fixing to be 59 here. I'm gonna be 59 in 4 months.
That's right. I'm sorry. Yes, I don't know why I said that. I don't know why I was trying to make you 54 because I know you're 10 years older than me. What I was going to say is I appreciate next week or so if you all would go over to the ad-free shows and give Megan and I our podcast a little listen when it comes out with Miss Karen Jarrett. We have another great guest coming up in January. I can't wait. Maybe someone of an ECW fame. Maybe. I'm just saying that. And we're really looking forward to talking to our women legends that are out there. And we've got a long list of people that we are contacting and wanting to get scheduled because, they just have some really great stories. I'm reading a book called The Sisterhood of the Squared Circle, and it's about women wrestlers. And it goes back to the whole Billy Wolf era, which is, if you listen to our show with Nicola Roberts, her mother was Lorraine Johnson, and she was one half of the NWA Tag Team Champions with Penny Banner. And she was part of that troupe. And again, it's just a real interesting to see the different women that are out there. They talk a lot about Mae Young and Moolah. And, we're moving through the different years and what was going on. And it's been a very interesting book. So I do recommend it if anybody just wants to, brush up on your knowledge of what women wrestling was doing. It did not start in the 80s. It was 40s, 50s. There were women out there that were kicking butt back in the 50s and going around.
In 83 at International Star Wars for World Class, the Women's Mexican Championship changed hands there. And over on the RAM Network on World Class Flashback, me and Timmy C are doing 1983. And we've noticed in the results when I'm catching everybody up between what happened between this tape to the next taping, that those two ladies were working the loops. They were doing some mixed tags. They were doing mixed tags. They were having rematches. And so they spent the first week of July making the loop while they were in World Class.
And there was a lot of women wrestling was banned in a lot of cities. They had to really,
it was an attraction.
Right. But I'm just saying, in New York City, they had to petition and they couldn't have a match in New York City, the women. And the same thing with a lot of other bigger cities and even some states. California, didn't allow women wrestling till the 60s. So, it's a really interesting history. It wasn't just everybody getting to kind of do what they're, going out there and getting into territory. There was a lot of, just a lot there. And so, again, very interesting read if you get a chance, if you have any interest about women wrestling. We've got a lot, like I said, we've got a lot of great upcoming guests, and we love having conversations with them because I know sometimes some of our questions are we're just curious about, as a woman, or, we talked to Missy Hyatt and stuff about who did her hair and makeup and how did she get her clothes? And because when you're the only female, basically at those times in a job full of men, how did that work? And so again, it's just little things that we like to know. Okay. Who would have known, Missy Hyatt had a bar. What did she say? She she had a contest with some guy in a bar about German history. It's like, what? And then that's when you find out she does World War II and Civil War reenactments, and she loves it, you know? So anyway, I just think it's really fun. I appreciate you listening, and any feedback is always great. So, okay, sorry. Now I'm rambling.
Right. And over on the Ram Network, patreon.com/Ram Network for $5 a month while we're producing bonus content. Timmy C and Dave and the HSV are doing footballers, trying to tell you how to make a little money gambling on football. Poor Tim took the Cowboys in the over. And he needed 49. He needed 49 points, and they scored 47.
He bet against his Bengals. That's surprising.
Well, he was picking the over, so.
Oh, I get you. I'm very slow at that. Sorry. Oh, is our guest here?
And it's time. At this time, we'd like to welcome to the show the AIWF Television Champion, Mr. Jax N. Saine. How you doing tonight?
Doing all right. How are you?
Doing great. Happy to have you with us.
Who is your friend?
Which one?
Hopefully the only one in the back. How many do you
There's two.
Oh, there's two? I only see one. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. How about the human? Who is that?
This is my wife, Jezebel.
I had the opportunity to rat sit for my grandkids a couple years ago, and I was scared to death we were going to lose them.
Is that your pet or is that dinner?
Yeah.
That's your pet. Awesome.
That's
okay.
my pet.
What is its name?
Snowball.
Oh.
Well, Jax, when I first talked to you, you told me that you had 3 championships.
Yes, I do.
So why don't you bring us up to speed? I know about the AIWF Television Championship.
Yes, we have the AIWF Television Championship, which was formerly held by Kevin Phoenix, but he is missing at the moment.
Oh my. Okay.
I won't say where, but he is missing. Next, we have the CPW Championship, which this is the second time I've been holding it. And we also have the Hollyasco Memorial Tournament Championship.
Okay.
Well, tell us about that one since it's got the name Memorial in it.
Memorial?
Who is?
It is for my old dear friend Gene Perry. His daughter passed away some years ago. I'm not sure how far along the way ago. But they've been doing this show once a year in memory of her. And I believe this was the eighth show. And I have participated in, I believe, 7 out of 8 of those shows. And finally, I won.
Well, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
I mean, I hate that there's a need for the Memorial Tournament. That's so tragic, but it must mean a lot to you to be able to carry that belt for your friend.
Absolutely it does.
Is that the most recent belt you have won?
No, the AIWF Championship is the most recent.
And is that the belt the person's disappeared?
Yes.
So tell us about that match. What kind of match was it? Was it a gimmick kind of match or just?
No. It was just a regular match.
Just a regular match?
Yeah, and I'm not a real big fan of gimmick matches because I believe that it decreases the creativity of wrestling.
I could see that. So you want it all to be in the ring, all the creativity, all the ideas to come straight from the ring.
Yeah.
Does your wife accompany you to the ring?
She does.
Does she like to get involved?
Yes.
She said it real quick.
Oh, yes,
As
I
many?
do. I love it.
Hey, behind every good man is a great woman, right?
You can say that.
Well, let me ask, because AIWF is such a mass. I mean, it's a worldwide territory. What part of the country did you capture that championship in?
North Carolina in the United States.
Gotcha. What about the other belts? I'm sorry, forgive me. Was it
CPW, the Classic
CPW?
Pro Wrestling. They are located in the Spartanburg area of South Carolina.
Okay, in South Carolina.
Yes.
So,
So how long have you been wrestling?
I have been wrestling for almost 9 years.
Okay. And what brought you to wrestling? What made you want to be part of it?
Before Jax N was even thought of, because Jax N isn't 8 years old. Break out of character for a moment. I was actually brought into wrestling as a missionary. I was called into missionary work through wrestling.
Really? Okay.
Yes. At the time, I was finishing up school. I was homeschooled. I'm the oldest of 11 children. I grew up in a strong Christian household, and I wanted to do something to serve the Lord. And I felt like wrestling was a way that I could do it and be myself at the same time.
Okay.
So that's where I went. And I do believe that that's actually what I was called to do, because from the time I started wrestling to the time I finished training, all the money I saved up from the age 15 to 18, um, it was the exact amount of money that I needed to finish training.
Oh.
So
Who
if
did
that
you
doesn't
train?
say,
Where did you
works that
train?
way?
I trained in Spartanburg under Norton Lewis and Jamie Lee. And then I was, I wouldn't say retrained, but kind of enhanced my training on top of it from ECW original Chris Hemmick about a year after I started wrestling.
Okay. Now, I will say this. Dave loves the name Jax N.
I do.
Because he was Dr. Phil DePayne when
Phil
he was on the end.
Philip D. Payne.
Philip D.
Philip
Payne.
D. Payne.
So Phil D. Payne.
So he feels a kinship between you all and your names. So how did your name
I
come
love the
about?
creativity there.
Yeah.
My name actually came about as a joke.
Oh, okay. What happened?
Because before I was, and this name is a bad name, but when I first started wrestling, my trainer gave me the name Ginger Jack because of my hair.
Okay.
And then I cut out the ginger because I wanted to be a heel.
Yeah.
And so I was just going by Jack at that time. And somebody, while they were watching me wrestle, they're like, "Man, Jax is insane, isn't he?" And they told me that and started laughing. I was like, that's actually a really good name.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And that's how it was born. And I started off as a clown and then decided to take more of my personal roots, because I did grow up in the mountains of North Carolina. I still live in the mountains of North Carolina, and I grew up on a farm, milking goats, slaughtering cows, and hunting deer. So I just took everything that I had with my exotic personality and came up with I wouldn't say monster, but a very psychotic but not evil character. I'm very mischievous and understood, but can be seen as evil because of the tendencies of the character.
Do you lean yourself towards like a Bray Wyatt and like that kind of the Wyatt family? in a sense, or am I getting that wrong at all, possibly?
I would say yes, because I was very inspired by Bray Wyatt.
Uh-huh.
Um, how can I say this? I tried to take a few things from him,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't want to completely copy him like a lot of people have.
Sure, sure.
With mine, I leaned more towards horror films like Friday
Okay.
the 13th, Halloween, things like that, and just took bits and pieces of each character to try to create something different. Because unlike a lot of those characters in the movies, they usually stalk their victims and then kill them,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. They don't really take any pride in it, except for maybe Freddy Krueger. But with the Jax N character, I didn't want him to just beat somebody and that's it. I wanted him to enjoy everything that he's doing, whether it benefits him or not, and
Okay.
to have the backstory to where you want to feel sorry for him, but you can't because of how he's treating everybody else.
Okay.
Do you find that the fans start getting behind you and then you do something that reminds them that they shouldn't be behind you?
No.
No, it doesn't have.
No, it's like I've told her, it's like it does not matter where we go. When we first start there, they will see us as heels. But after a few shows, we could go out there and do something absolutely horrible.
That's like the one match with Sin. He put a plastic bag over his
I
face. That
did.
was the finish, and they were cheering us.
Yes, they
Oh,
were cheering me as I was smothering somebody with a plastic bag
wow.
in the cage.
Hashtag Truth is with us, and they said ask him about his 5-video storyline he put out to tell people about his character.
Oh, that was a good storyline. It's actually on YouTube on my YouTube page at Jax N if you want to go watch it for yourself.
Okay.
Um, but the 5-episode miniseries, I guess is what you could call it, or Jax N special. It all happened during COVID.
Mm.
So no one was wrestling, no one was doing anything, and I wanted to stay relevant instead of sit on Facebook and complain that there's no shows going on like everybody was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't like being stagnant. I want to actually do something. So I was coming up with the stories for each video as the videos were coming out. I didn't have everything scripted.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people thought I did, but I was literally coming up with it as we were doing it. My sister helped me shoot it. One of my sisters did. And yeah, without spoiling a whole lot, it kind of blurs the lines of where Jax N may have come from, but at the same time, is he really telling the truth?
Okay.
Did he have a family before, or was he part of a family? And what actually happened to that family? Because I never give an answer. I show what I want you to think, but I want you to come up with how the story actually went,
Oh, okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. And what a
I'll be
great
sure
way
to.
to
I'll be sure
use.
to when we promote this episode. I'll be sure to link your YouTube to it.
Yeah, and I was
Okay.
just gonna say, what a great way to keep yourself out there. Like you said, during COVID, everybody had to get really creative, and this sounds really, like you said, you really got to have some time. 5-video storyline that you put out.
See,
Yeah,
I had decided that I wanted to I decided that I wanted to step away during, and when I stepped away, COVID started. So it was real easy for me to stay away, and then until they started having shows again, and then I was like, the first show I took my grandkids to, I was like, this is enjoy this one because Papa's got to get back in there. I can't sit out here with y'all.
yeah.
So not my retirement was easy because there was nothing going on. But I could imagine. I think I respect that you found a way you found a way to keep yourself out there during COVID and just really be productive with it.
Yeah, and there was a few shows that were taking a lot of precautions, and still doing some. They just didn't have crowds.
Yeah.
They were doing everything on Facebook Live, and I offered to work with them. I even told them I'd work for free, just to have something to do and stay relevant. But
Mm-hmm.
they never really wanted to work with me on that, which was fine.
And
I
what
can't imagine what it's like. I can't imagine what it's. Well, I know I've been on some shows where it might as well have been an empty arena. But
Yeah,
I mean, I can't imagine how hard it is to on purpose without the fans.
yeah.
It's-
I was on a handful of shows that did that. Right after COVID started getting lifted a little bit. Um, and it was definitely different. And it actually, and I don't know if a lot of wrestlers feel this way, but it really made me feel this way. It really showed how special the fans are with wrestling, because if they're not there for you to work with, you can't really do your job.
mm-hmm.
You can go out there and do moves and think you have something going, but unless you have somebody um, viewing and taking your product and giving you feedback, you really don't know how good your product is. You might think you're the best thing since sliced bread, but you might not be.
Right.
And I believe that COVID really showed that with a lot of people.
Now, what did you say your wife's name was? Did you say Jezebel?
Jezebel.
Beth.
Jezebeth. Okay, I'm glad I asked. Did you all meet wrestling?
No.
Do you have a lizard on you now? Is that a lizard?
Yeah.
Okay. Iguana. Maybe it's an iguana.
It's a beardy. It's a bearded dragon.
Bearded dragon.
Oh, okay.
Her name is Star.
Star and Snowball. Do they like each other?
Nope.
No. Okay.
She will eat him.
Okay. So okay. Snowball stays away. I take it.
Yeah. I got quite an exotic collection of animals. I have ball pythons, I have bearded dragons, I have rats, I have birds, I have cats, dogs, pigs, chickens.
Really? What kind of dog do you have? Dave and I are dog people. So.
I have a German Shepherd, Great Pyrenees. She's my service dog. I have diabetes, so yeah.
Oh, awesome. So she helps you with that.
Yep. And I have 2 huskies.
Uh-huh.
And I have a pit bull.
Okay.
And I have a German Shepherd Border Collie. And I have a lab mix.
Oh, wow.
How are they with all your smaller animals? Do they like to, are they curious about them? Or are they just kind of, everybody's separate, everybody kind of
They just kind of do their own thing. My cats love my Beardy. They get in her tank all the time, and she'll just sit there like, "Sup, guys?"
Yeah, really. I don't have that ability to get out as fast as you do. So I'm sorry. Did you two meet wrestling? I'm sorry, I cut you off when I saw the
You're fine.
dragon.
No, we didn't. We were actually in a fan film together.
Uh-huh.
It was a Harley Quinn movie.
Okay.
I was young Harley, and he was the Joker.
Well, okay. How cool is that? And so then, when did wrestling come up in the conversation between you two?
Well, I'll explain it this way. We were dating for 3 weeks and then decided to move in together, got pregnant with our son, and then got married right afterwards. So
So you have a baby too, along the dogs and the pigs and the cats and
we have 2 babies. We have a 3-year-old, we have a 1-year-old.
oh my gosh, how cute. I bet the animals are they just walk around with the animals too, don't they? They just everybody just well, this is just the way it's supposed to be.
Yep.
Those 3-year-olds are a handful. I've got a 3-year-old granddaughter, and I spent Sunday with her, and
I saw you super.
I was tired.
I bet.
I'm a stay-at-home mom, so It's tough.
I can imagine. My kids are. I can't imagine having your children that close together. However, you think they would entertain each other, but that's
No.
probably fighting is probably what they're doing more. And the older one is probably doing things to the younger one. I have a younger sister, so I can remember those days. So you go to the ring with him though? Like, is that
Yes.
every match or just on certain
Every
ones?
match.
Awesome.
And,
Awesome.
well, when I got pregnant with well, when I was pregnant with our son, I was at ringside all the way up till I went into labor.
Oh wow.
Oh my.
Like we had a wrestling show, what was it, that Friday night or Saturday night?
You went into labor on a Friday.
And we had a show that Saturday.
We had a show that night.
Yeah, and I was going to go at ringside if my water wouldn't have broke.
That's dedication.
That is.
With our daughter, I had complications, so they wouldn't let me go at ringside much with her.
Yeah.
But I've been all right there the entire, well, not the whole time. Since we got together, so I've been managing. So
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, did you watch wrestling? Did you kind of know about that wrestling, or was it through him that being able to create this?
I've been at the ring since I was about 9 years old. My dad was
Awesome.
friends with wrestlers, and he was friends with someone who actually ran a wrestling show. We were there every weekend, and I wanted to get in that ring so bad.
Uh-huh.
And um, I did have the opportunity to get in the ring a little bit with Ricky Morton, but
Awesome.
that was like right after I just got over pneumonia, so I couldn't really do a lot. And
Sure.
now I'm not going to be able to wrestle at all because I have other health problems that are prohibiting me from wrestling. So
I understand. Well, and
But you're making a
yes,
contribution outside the ring.
exactly.
yep.
But I know
And you
what you
never,
mean.
yeah.
To me,
Oh, sorry.
there's
Go
no
ahead.
bigger privilege than getting in the ring. I've been doing it for 20 years. It's a privilege. It's a privilege every time I get to do it. There's nothing to me better than crawling through those ropes.
Yeah, it was my dream for the longest time. And then whenever I got told that I would never be able to do it, it was like,
Mhm.
wow,
Mm.
that was like a punch in the gut.
Right.
So I take it and I go with my animals.
I love it. So what does 2025 look like for you two? What are your goals and what are you thinking? And you've got 3 championships. How many more do you want to add?
Well, with the two babies, it does limit us to how many shows we can do.
Sure.
Because we don't have a whole lot of help watching them. Because her parents live 2 hours away and mine live an hour away. So it makes it a little difficult. But we are returning to Greenville, South Carolina. I won't say which promotion because I don't know if I can say yet or not.
Okay.
Okay.
But we
Keep it a
will be
surprise.
with, yeah, it's a surprise. We will be with AIWF in Mount Airy, and I think Greensboro next year, starting March 1st. We'll
Awesome.
also be defending our CPW title at CPW AWL and the Norton Lewis Memorial Show. And we'll also be defending our championship for the Holly Askin Memorial Tournament, I think in early August next year as well. So we got some stuff coming up.
Heck yeah.
Not
Well,
a whole lot, but we're gonna make what we have big.
exactly. Well, I mean, you do have 3 belts. So I mean, you definitely are doing quite well in that realm. And with being in the Carolinas, there's so much going on right there that, you do have the opportunity at least, you're not having to go to Texas or, driving godly amount of hours. There are
Right.
some great wrestling happening right there, in the Carolinas. So that's awesome too.
Right. And I'd like to go back to Tennessee. We wrestled in Tennessee, what, like 4 or 5 times?
Mhm.
4 or 5 times. And I've been to Georgia too, but
Mhm.
that's a bit of a drive with 2 toddlers.
Yeah.
But Tennessee, we're only 30 minutes from Irwin, Tennessee.
Oh, cool.
Um,
Okay.
So,
so we would like to do some shows in Tennessee if we get the chance and have the time.
well, being the
Um,
AIWF Television Champion and that association with Matt Classic Creed, does that are you having some opportunities, whether you can take them or not, coming your way? Because that guy really seems to be all about networking and
Definitely.
creating opportunities for independent wrestlers.
as of right now, he's trying to get me on every podcast that I can get on. We haven't really talked about shows yet, other than just AIWF.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about anybody affiliated with AIWF. I'm open to have those conversations, just as long as it can work with our schedule. Because I also work for a steel company 55 hours out of a week, and that's a lot. And then coming home and trying to help out as much as I can here while trying to wrestle and sleep when I can. Um, but if he does, or if anybody else wants to discuss some dates, we're open to it.
Mm-hmm.
So just contact us on Facebook. I don't have Instagram on my phone anymore because I kind of felt like it was a waste of time. But Facebook, I'm active on Facebook all the time.
You have an X
And
account?
what it? Yeah, I was gonna say.
I do have an X account. I just don't have a lot of followers. I think I only got like 22.
Okay.
So mainly Facebook is where you want people to follow you and kind of keep up with what you're doing. Is that a good place?
Either Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube. Those three seem to work for me. I've got like 5,000 followers on Facebook. YouTube, I think I have 100 subs, and TikTok, I've got a little over 600, I think.
Well, I'm going to follow you on the Facebook.
Well, let me ask you, because you mentioned TikTok, and I've been really trying to increase my presence on TikTok, but with the talk of the ban, is there a plan B? I mean, would that be doing more reels on Facebook, more YouTube, or?
Yeah, because I post on all three anyway. I mean, whatever I post on TikTok, I post to the others. So I'd probably just stick to what I was doing and just keep making reels or YouTube shorts, whichever.
I didn't know if
if
Instagram would come back into play without TikTok.
Instagram probably would. Which I have it set up to whatever I do post on Facebook, it instantly goes to Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still posting on Instagram. I'm just not personally active on it.
Right.
Did you all got married in the ring?
We sure did.
Oh, how cute!
Oh, that is so cool.
Can you see it? That's so cute.
I see that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we got married in the ring that morning, and then that night I gave her a heart attack.
I'm just scrolling through his page real quick and saw that. I was like, oh, how cute.
So we got married, and he decided to bleed that night
without telling her.
Without telling me. And mind you, we were only together for like, let's see, we met in September.
And
then got married in February. So we were only so September.
Hey, when you know, right?
Yeah.
4 or 5 months.
Yeah. So
I love that. I love that you got your pictures. Oh, that's so cute. They're doing. Is that like your first dance in the ring? Is that what y'all were doing?
That was actually our
Kiss the Bride. Maybe
that was what it was.
Yeah.
That was right as we said I do, and they told us to. So.
Yeah, because we had a very strict time limit. So
sure. They
moving.
needed to clean up, get the room ready for the show.
Well, it was a Valentine's Day show anyway, so like they kept all of our decorations up.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. They
I
should have let you
love
do it during
it.
the show.
Yeah.
And then we
cool.
even had enough wedding cake to share with all the wrestlers and stuff. So
I love it. That's so cool.
I work for a promotion in Louisiana, Mississippi called BIW, and I swear he tries to book shows on Valentine's Day. I know he does it on purpose for some reason.
I will say I don't want to be booked on Valentine's Day again just because that's our anniversary, and I'm just
Right.
like, that's our time.
That's
I
funny.
know. I've made the mistake of taking bookings on my wife's birthday weekend and anniversaries, and
You can't help them
I'm
sometimes.
a little
You just
more
gotta let them
selective
make
now.
those. I was gonna say, you just gotta let them learn the hard way.
Oh yeah, we've learned that, haven't we?
Yeah.
So sorry. I apologize.
I want to go back to the beginning. We talked about how you got in, but what are you a lifelong wrestling fan? I mean,
Actually,
what
no.
was your fandom that led you to wrestling?
I started.
I'm gonna go put her up.
Okay. I started watching wrestling around
Ouch.
15 or 16.
Okay.
So who would you be watching if you're 15? What wrestlers were you watching at that time?
At that time, we never had cable growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So all I had was either DVDs that I found or
Okay.
YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm that wrestler.
No.
Yeah, I found DVDs at the thrift store and was like, "Hey, wrestling."
Heck yeah.
But I actually grew up watching all the old stuff because I could never find anything up to date because everybody was grabbing it.
Sure.
So I
Sure.
had like all the Hulk Hogan and Macho Man tapes on DVD.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, Macho Man is still my favorite. Drive her crazy.
You don't like Macho
She
Man?
No, I do. It's just he does the voice all the time, and it's like,
Oh.
stop.
That must be
yeah.
universal because my wife hates it when I do that too.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
My wife hates it when I do the Macho Man voice too. So
Oh yeah,
that must be a universal deal.
I guess.
Ugh.
But yeah, I grew up watching all the old stuff, and I went to a independent show in Spartanburg um, right after I was recovering from a broken knee. I broke it in a moped accident. I had the moped for 3 days and then snapped my knee in half.
Oh
Oh
goodness.
my gosh.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. At least it wasn't on the first day. I had it for 3 days. Um, but yeah, I just recovered from a knee injury, and we went to this show. It was big time wrestling. The main event was Matt Hardy and Ricky Morton.
Uh-huh.
But Big Van Vader was there. Flair was there. Let's see who else was there. I think Billy Gunn was there. There was a few others. I can't remember. And there was some local guys. But after sitting there watching that, um, I was like, man, this is cool. You know, if only I could do this. But I didn't really think I could do anything with a messed up leg.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't get it out of my mind. And that's when I was like, well, Lord, if you want me to do this, well, I need money for training. And I started as a farmhand for somebody. And then that one job turned into 7. And then I just kept putting my money back. And that's where we got to a little while ago.
That's awesome.
That is.
Think of that, Amy. His first match that he went to, Ricky Morton and Matt Hardy.
Definitely.
If
And
that didn't get you going,
Ric Flair.
that didn't get you.
Yeah.
And Ric Flair was there.
Mm-hmm.
His
I mean,
first
that's
show.
pretty
His
cool.
first show in 2015.
14 or 15.
Excuse
Yeah,
me.
think of it. My first show in 1982, Ric Flair was there.
It's crazy.
My
So-
first show at Rupp Arena was no Ric Flair. So it's that, you know, it was Hillbilly Jim. He was there.
Ricky Morton's he's timeless. I got to work with him last year. And,
I was gonna say we just saw him last year put on a wrestling match.
I mean, you talk about that's a highlight for me.
Heck yeah. My husband and my son went and saw him at a Comic-Con, the Rock and Roll Express, and they let them wear their rings and like take pictures with their Hall of Fame rings. I'm like,
Yeah.
I've never gotten to do that.
Yeah, I got the opportunity to wrestle against both Robert and Ricky
Oh,
in
cool.
Fairview, North Carolina,
Okay.
right when AEW was just getting started.
Okay.
And it was fun. I learned a lot. So,
I bet.
yeah, I learned that he don't like me.
Oh.
Which one? Ricky?
Ricky.
Really?
Robert loved me to death. But Ricky has never really liked me. I don't think he likes my face paint and stuff.
Oh, okay. A little intimidating, maybe, or a little scary.
I've never been around them though when they weren't trying to help everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because they're always wanting to tell you not just how to do something, but why we do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep.
So, I mean, those guys, that's true passion. When, I mean, unfortunately, Robert's hip so bad now that it's hard for him, but
Yeah.
but Ricky's still hanging in there. Robert's hip so bad now that, and I'm 50. It's hard for him, but I'm 58, and I can't imagine bumping like he does. It's hard enough for me just getting up and down.
I know.
Yeah, I cannot
can't move half
imagine.
the time.
Listen, I'm 23 and my hip pops out of socket every time I move, so let's not.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. I tell everybody that at least the pain reminds me that I'm still alive.
Yeah.
Feel up the pain.
No kidding. A cute name turned into a prophecy.
Who's y'all's favorite wrestlers?
Ours?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like of all time?
Yeah.
Arn
Oh.
Anderson, 100%.
My
I got a whole
all-time
collection
favorite
behind
wrestler
me.
was David Von Erich.
David Von Erich.
But then it became Ric Flair. Because after a few years, I realized that Flair was why I was going. When I saw Kerry Von Erich defeat him for the championship, I realized that that's not really what I wanted to see. It was the chase. And Ric Flair had managed to talk me into the arena every time he came to town.
Yeah.
So Ric Flair's because David died in '84, so I only had him for a couple years, but very fond memories. I go back and watch anytime I can find something old that I don't have on disc of his. I loved his hill run in Florida, and then like I said, he died 40 years ago, and after that, it was just then I liked the Freebirds, and then Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, Magnum TA, but Ric Flair just, I mean, all the way up until he retired. And I was
Dave got to ref that last match of Ric Flair's.
And I got to run in and make the 3 count at his last match in Nashville.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
I tell you what, you got some pretty good Carolina boys named Jax and Cash that I really enjoy, FTR. So
I've always wanted to meet them.
I'm really envious that there's so much that you can choose from in the Carolinas as far as wrestling goes.
There is.
There is.
You know, and even big time wrestling, I saw them in Rhode Island. They put a show up there, so they travel, and that's a really good show. Like you were saying, I went and saw them in, 2022. So, again, FTR was there, Arn was there. They had, a lot of different names. Brian Pillman was there, or Junior. So, I mean, that is a great company, and they work the coast. And so, like you said, even something like that gets to come to Carolinas. There's a lot. AML is there. There, like you said, there's just all kinds of different things. It's a really good place, like you said, especially for you all that may be a little bit limited on like how far you can go. There's several that you can work in, just in that area. That's a great place to be.
Other
Let me ask you, do you have who is your biggest nemesis in wrestling?
My biggest nemesis in wrestling used to be a guy called Devin Cruz.
Hmm.
Um, but I believe that he is done and retired, which that's fine. Um, as of right now, I don't really have a nemesis.
Well, he especially is that guy that's quote disappeared after he wrestled you. I think that could be, he might have been a nemesis, but you might have taken care of that. So maybe that's why you don't have them. They don't want to be your nemesis. They disappear if they do, if they become a nemesis of yours.
Yeah, no, if they get in the way, then they have to be taken away.
Do you have someone that is your favorite person to work with?
My favorite person to work with. Hmm. I would say probably one of the guys that I trained with. I don't know if he's still wrestling or not. I think he's stepping away due to some life changes. But that would be Austin Bebop. He is probably my favorite person to wrestle with because we know each other so well. We can go in there and which I try not to call anything in the back anyway. But me and him could go in there and just work an entire match without saying a word.
Mm-hmm.
That's how close we are. We know what each other does. Um, and the fun part is because everyone knows that I like to work stiff or I like to hit you without killing you. Just because I think it needs to be that way so it looks good and people believe it. Um, well, he does the same way. So when me and him are in the ring with each other and it bugs her to death because she gets so mad, we top each other every time we hit each other.
Oh,
So every time I hit him, he's going to hit me twice as hard, and then I'm going to hit him even harder until one of us decides to stop.
Yeah.
But that's how we are. And we both end up laughing by the end of the match because we're both crazy.
Yeah, and then at the end of it, I gotta hear, oh,
Why'd you have to hit me so
oh,
hard?
oh gosh.
Lighten up, brother. Uh,
Well, I know there's nights that if my wife sees me, if I get bumped or something, there's a rule that I'm not allowed to complain about it on the way home.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have that rule.
Do you want to have that rule?
Yeah.
See, I won't be the one complaining about it. You'll be the one complaining that I did that.
Why'd you do that? That was stupid. Why'd you do that?
And before we wrap this up, I want to ask you back to AIWF. Since you're in an AIWF territory, do other AIWF champions come to your promotion? Like, will y'all see, like, does Greg Anthony come in and defend the world championship, or Barrett Brown come in and defend the junior heavyweight championship?
I personally have not seen them, but I would like to. They might have been there when I wasn't available for a show.
Ah,
Um, I know there's two championships, singles championships, in Mount Airy, North Carolina. I had the television. I'm not sure who has the other one. I think it's Joe Harrison who has the other championship there. Um, but as of other AIWF champions coming in, I haven't seen a lot of them personally. They might have been there and I just didn't know. I don't know because I'm usually busy.
well, it's fascinating. Well, it's really, I like them because they're a territory. I mean,
Yeah.
they're a worldwide territory that's been around for decades now. I like the territory system. I grew up
I
on the
do.
territory system. Like I said, Ric Flair wasn't a world class guy, but Ric Flair being the traveling champion is what drew me in. So I really like the model that AIWF has, and that's why I was wondering if they were sending those guys up to the Carolinas.
Yeah, I haven't seen them personally, but I do love the territory system like AIWF has. I know Union Pro Wrestling tried to do the same thing with CPW, NCW, and a few other promotions that way. I think Pro Wrestling Turbo in Greenville, South Carolina, was that way as well. But I think it fell through. I don't think it worked quite as well for them as it has for AIWF.
All right. Do you have a merch store? Or
I
merchandise
do
available?
not. I do not. Right now, I'm trying to restock because we sold out at the last show that we were at.
Good deal.
So you usually have a table where you go. Do you have a table
Yeah,
set up?
we usually have a table. I used to sell stuff online,
Mm-hmm.
but just with everything going on over here, especially after the hurricane hit our area, um, we haven't really been able to get new merchandise and try to sell it online. Um, I've been, like I said, my hours have increased at work, um, and just doing other stuff around the house, fixing things, and just everyday life. Two
Sure.
babies. It's a little
Right.
challenging right now.
What
Did
was
y'all
your
get?
area? Oh, go ahead, Dave.
No,
I
you're
think,
asking the same thing. Go
yeah, I
ahead.
was gonna say we're asking the same question. I was gonna say, were you affected by the hurricane in your area?
Us personally, no. We didn't have power for 8 days.
Mm-hmm.
Power and running water for 8 days. But our house personally, it was fine.
Yeah.
And family members in the area, they were fine. But our little town, and we're 20 minutes from Asheville, so
Mm-hmm.
that might say something if you've seen anything on the news. Um, but our little town of Barnardsville, it got wiped out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was bad.
There's a trailer park like right down the road, and the trailers look like just soda cans just crushed together, and
Gosh.
there was cars and trees, and it was horrible. Like there's also a little restaurant right up the road, and it was fully underwater.
Oh goodness.
You couldn't even see it.
I've got a friend that's a police officer in Roxborough, and he was sent out to help in certain areas, and the images I saw were just horrific. And
Yeah.
but it's a blessing. It's a blessing that y'all got through that without any damage.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned, speaking of a blessing, you had mentioned that you were using wrestling to minister. And I just want to say that is I think pro wrestling is a very, very effective way to minister to young people, and young and old as well. The show that I worked this past Friday night, Lost Art of Wrestling. I mean, the ring announcer was a pastor. He gave he did a he witnessed everybody before we ever got started. In Texas, there's the Christian Wrestling Federation that does great work.
We had someone. I was gonna say we had someone on, didn't we? Who did we have on? That was Legacy. No. There was somebody else. Was it? There was someone from Lost Art on or Legacy?
Yeah,
or...
Paul was on, the promoter.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, we've had Lost Art.
Yes, that's what I was thinking because he was telling us about that.
And even here in Mississippi, I've been on shows where Ted DiBiase was there and Ted DiBiase had a sermon during the card. So I think that's great that you wanted to use this platform for something so positive.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'd try me personally, I think it's better to show people how you live in Christ than to try to approach somebody. I like it when people approach me like, hey, why do you do this, or why do you believe this way? Why don't you do this like everybody else? And then I explain to them that way and minister that way.
Gotcha.
Because I do think, especially in today's world, with as much hate as Christians get for being so, hey, I'm a Christian, you should come to church and believe this way, and everything that you're doing is wrong. I believe in doing it more of, I would say, more of the apostles' way of doing things in the New Testament, which was just live your life, love everybody that you can, and witness to them when the opportunity arises, instead of throwing it in people's faces like a lot of Christians do, and driving people away instead of pulling them in.
It's funny that you said. I've had this discussion recently with my oldest daughter, that sometimes Christians don't agree with people's lifestyles, and then they try to go at them in the name of God, and that's completely wrong. It's just,
Yeah.
but that has a way of souring people, and and my daughter was kind of concerned because she knows that I'm, and my wife grandkids were all involved in church here, and I tried to tell her that not everybody's that way. We know, don't let a few turn you away, because that's not the norm. And I told her, I said, if nothing else, read the 10 Commandments and tell me which one you have a problem with.
Yeah.
That's just, if nothing else, that there's 10 there that if you just went by those, you'd be just a pretty good person. So, but anyway, I digress. I just wanted to tell you, I think it's great that you use your platform for that in a positive way. And
Especially with such a dark character.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because people come up to us, and like I've had people come up to us, y'all are going to hell, but we're Christians, so like we have I accepted Jesus in my heart, like when I first met him, because he helped me open up, because I just lost my papa and I was very mad and very upset, and I blamed God. I did. I'm not gonna lie. And he helped me overcome that and open my heart up to Jesus. And it's like everybody would come up to us and start running their mouths, and I'm just like, but you don't even know.
Those are the people that need to not. They just,
I think
like
it's good that you can see that you can have a dark character and know that there's light behind it. So
Yep.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite moments with a fan in that, I think it was in Royston, Georgia, and I was in the middle of a match, and I just hit the guy. We were working around the ring, and I screamed at this woman, and her daughter started crying, and she looked at me. She said, "You need Jesus," and I looked at her and I said, "Hallelujah!" I just kept going.
oh,
excuse me.
There's I don't honestly think in wrestling there's a better feeling than getting pure heat.
Oh no, I love being hated. She doesn't like it.
I want people to like me.
There's the times I mean, when the crowd is into it and they're completely buying in and they hate your guts.
Yeah. It's very hard for me to get hated because of how unique the character is.
Yeah.
And people don't hate her because she likes being liked too much. But I actually try to get heat. I will make children cry in the front row. I made this one family ask for a refund as they left.
Yeah, I
And
love it.
and people still cheer. It's weird.
Well, there's a wrestler that I work with that he's the Nightmare Jeremiah, and I've worked with him for probably almost 10 years now, and it's getting to the point where there's nothing he can do to. I mean, there's nothing he does that the fans should like, but they eat it up.
Yeah, or fans they know
And there's
what they
nothing wrong
like.
with that, especially if you got a merch table.
Yeah, I mean, I've got merch, so they buy all of our stuff.
But almost 10 years ago, he made my grandson cry. So we lost Amy.
Oh no.
Her internet's been really spotty all night. But we're gonna wrap up. I can't thank you enough for coming on here. It means the world to us that because we've been doing this for 2 years. We're trying to put a spotlight on the independents, and your willingness to come on. It means the world to us that you take time. And if you ever need to come on or something you want to promote, we're here for you.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
And when we when I post the audio version later this week, I'll make sure I'll attach all your socials to it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
On X, I'll tag you. We'll try to get all your socials out there for everybody.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Oh.
Yeah, she woke up and I had to go get her, and now she's back asleep.
Well, thank y'all so much for coming on tonight. It was nice to meet you. Wish you the best.
All right. It was good meeting you, and thank you again.
All right. Jax N, Saine, everybody. All right. I want to thank y'all for joining us tonight. I want to thank our guest Jax N, Saine and his lovely wife for coming on. We really enjoyed that, getting to learn about what was going on in the Carolinas with the AIWF Television Champion. Amy, your internet is not playing well tonight.
I know. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's like me. Maybe it's a little hoarse. I don't know.
We'll be back again. We're back on again next Wednesday. Let me make sure I tell everybody, right?
Yes, because it's our last show of the year.
Right. On the 18th, we got James Harris from AIWF. He's going to join us. We'll be back next Wednesday night for that. And then we're going to take a hiatus through the holidays and hit this thing, come out running in January.
I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be good. 2025, here we come.
If you would, if you haven't already, go on our YouTube channel. We've slowed down getting subscribers. We'd like y'all to ramp that up and click subscribe. It helps us out a lot. Like and comment. If there's something that we're not doing that you don't like, tell us. We can take it. Just help us out. Willie Buck wants to know if I've got any wrestling this weekend. I do not. I am through until the beginning of January, Willie. But pwdpod.com will take you to our YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter, X, at Ref Super Dave PWD. She's at Amy RD _24. Until next week, I'm Pondwater Dave, and we appreciate you, and everybody have a great night.